Good morning, it's October 8th, 2025, and it's time for my second set of devotionals. Won't you join me?
And celebrate recovery, healing from hurts, habits, and hang-ups.
Day 281, the predictable pattern of relapse. If you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. 1 Corinthians 10:12. If we don't keep our guard up, we can easily fall back into our old self-defeating patterns. This is called relapse. Alcoholics start to drink again. Overeaters regain the weight they've lost. Gamblers return to the casinos. Workaholics fill up their schedules again. It's easy to slip back into old hurts, hang-ups, and habits. Regardless of the issue, the pattern is the same. Phase 1 is complacency. Relapse begins when we get comfortable. We've confessed our problems, dealt with them, and made real progress. Then we get comfortable and stop praying about it and stop working at it. Before we know it, we have become complacent. Phase 2 is confusion. We begin to rationalize and play mental games with ourselves. We say things like, maybe my problem really wasn't all that bad. I could have handled it myself. We forget how bad it used to be. Reality becomes fuzzy and confused. Phase 3 is compromise. Temptation is back. We return to the risky situations that got us into trouble in the first place. Compromise may begin with little things, but it won't be long before the ground we've gained is lost. Phase 4 is catastrophe. In this phase, we actually give in to the old hurts, hang-ups, or habits. Hate, resentment, and old behaviors return. But we need to understand this. The catastrophe is not the relapse. The relapse began in phase 1 with complacency. The catastrophe is simply the end result, the acting out phase of the pattern. Prayer. Father, keep me from complacency and the patterns that could cause me to slip away from you once again. In Jesus' name, amen.
And in My Quiet Time devotional,
Day 281, Walk Your Talk. Such people claim they know God, but they deny Him by the way they live. Titus 1:16. Paul wrote to Titus, his son in the faith, to guide Titus in his leadership responsibilities on the island of Crete. Titus was a Greek believer who had been trained and nurtured by Paul. Like Timothy, Titus was one of Paul's closest friends and traveling companions, who traveled on behalf of Paul to various locations. At this time, Paul had left Titus on the island of Crete to appoint elders in the new churches. Paul wrote to Titus to give him guidance in choosing the people who would fill those important positions in the churches. Paul also warned Titus about the infiltration of false teachers and encouraged Titus to be a good example to the believers. Titus had his hands full, for the Cretans were known for being liars, cruel animals, and lazy gluttons. Titus 1:12. For Titus to identify new believers who had the ability to mature in the faith and blossom as leaders was a tough task indeed. Titus would need discernment to find the people who matched the qualifications Paul laid out in this chapter. Unlike the people mentioned in 1:16, the people Titus chose would claim to know God and prove their faith by the way they lived. What about you? Do you claim to know God but deny Him with your life? Or would you meet Paul's standards as one who proves your faith by the way you live? Do you live what you say you believe? What would the people closest to you say? If you want to avoid the predictable pattern of relapse, it's very important that you walk your talk. I hope you have a blessed day.